Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why there's incentives for retaining. Why there's going to be, if you've been retaining your nut, there's going to be, you're going to have a clearer consciousness, and you're just going to have, and your life is going to improve in all areas of your life. Your life will just magnetically just become a lot more just intriguing in general. You'll almost have a movie-like experience in this three-dimensional reality that we call life when you're on retention. You got to realize that every single experience that you go through, like every single day, all of it just becomes a memory in the future. It's all memories. It's all added up memories that are portrayed as your life experiences. And if you want to get, let's say, a different movie, a different experience, something more intriguing, something more entertaining to talk about, to have in your life, to become in your life, you're gonna have to switch your focus. You're gonna have to start just being a lot more intentional about every single thing that you do. Like, in terms of life, there's let's say a lot of adults who are really just kind of slaves to their jobs, slaves to life, slaves to their spouse, slaves to their situation, and just slaves to everything. They have no oomph, they have no aura, they have no zest about them. They're just very plain, mundane. And I mean, if you want to live your life like that, that's your choice. That's your decision. But if you live your life like that, eventually you're just going to have enough. And the moment you decide to, let's say, change your life, to change some aspects of your life, the entire world rearranges itself in your favor. Nature is naturally friendly to your plans. Everything is naturally for you. Just keep in mind that this is your natural state. Basically, every thought that is let's say that you think of, any sustained thought, any sustained image that you hold in your brain, let's say for at least 17 seconds, has to make its way into reality somehow or something. Like, and I'm talking about mental reps. Like, you think about a certain image in your brain, a certain situation, a certain feeling every single day. Not just once and then you forget about it for 6 days of the week. I'm talking about every single day. There's this habitual thought that comes into your mind, this habitual image that is in your mind no matter what you're doing. Maybe you're brushing your teeth, maybe you're doing your work, maybe you're driving, maybe you're just doing something. There's this habitual thought that comes into your consciousness every single day. Now, what tends to happen, and you're kind of worried if it may happen, if it might not happen. The thing is, the subject that you're thinking of, if it's habitual and if it's consistent and it's sustained, and there's some emotion that goes along with it, if you're crying, maybe, if you think it's happy or something like that, what's going to happen is it's going to make its way into your world at a later date. Think about any sustained thought, any habitual thought, as a thought that goes into this thing called a vortex. And then you put it, it's a mental thought that is put into the thing called a vortex. Now, the vortex has this thing called a law of gestation, meaning it takes time for your thoughts to, let's say, manifest into reality. So there's a time period. Now, this time period is what gets a lot of people off, because people don't like to be patient. People don't like to wait for things. They like instant results. They like, I need it right now. And they don't think it's going to happen if it takes like 10 years. It could take 10 years. It's called divine time. It happens whenever the time is right. So any sustained thought that you think about, any sustained image that you feel, any feeling that you keep harvesting and putting emotion towards, will someday become your reality. So you put the sustained image, the sustained thought in your mind, and then it goes into this vortex. And then when your mind is off of it, and you're just going about your normal day, you're doing your normal things, boom, it pops up, and there it is. Something pops up. You might today, like you might have something where you were watching someone's, let's say, Snapchat, and then you watch their Snapchat, and you're like, oh, here they are, and then you forget about it, and then 2 days later you see them, let's say, at the gym or something like that. This is, I'm making this an example because this is what happened. This literally just happened to me recently. So you can get what you want in life if you just use everything that I just said to your advantage. If you know this and you realize that this is, let's say, law, then you can get what you want. But the thing is, you have to have faith. You have to have an inner knowing that sustained thoughts, that habitual thinking, that anything that has thought that is nourished with emotion and repetition will one day sprout into your fruit, the fruits of your labor. Your fruits of your labor will be realized. So now, when you're on retention, when you've also decided to retain your nut, all of this process that I am speaking of gets amplified at least 10 times. Things will make their way into reality 10 times faster. If you relapse, then you're not putting any energy. You're cutting your energy by half, and it's going to take longer. But if you retain for a while, everything that you habitually think about, sustained thought, sustained image, will make its way into reality at a rapid rate. So make sure you're looking. Make sure you're always aware. You're always aware. The Most High is always telling you things about your manifestations. You might notice that if it's let's say maybe it's an individual, you start hearing their name a lot. You start seeing, if maybe you know their last name or something, you start seeing evidence of their name. Maybe your coworker, someone called you on the phone and they say their name, that the person that you were thinking about. Or maybe it's like a vacation spot that you really want to go to, and then you start seeing that name of the vacation spot, let's say, on the license plate right in front of you. Things just magnetically kind of just make way into your reality, make way into your experience effortlessly. So using this information, you can get what you really want. You really can't have what you really want. All it takes is the sustained thought, the inner knowing that you're gonna have it no matter what, and the faith and persistence of putting the action behind whatever you're trying to, let's say, bloom into your reality. Now, when you're on retention, your life just gets, let's say, a little bit better each and every day. If you start thinking your life as every single day, it's just going to get a little bit better, just 1% better every single day. Eventually, the memories that you conjure together will sprout into tree branches that are very, very groomed and defined and developed, and you will live in an abundant state at all times. The best way to attract, let's say, abundance into your life is to think abundantly, feel abundant before the actual abundance shows up. And that's how abundance actually shows up in your life, and you can really have what you really want. So also, if you're trying to attract, let's say, a specific person, you will attract them. It may take a while, and it may take months, or however long it may take, but you will attract them eventually if that's really what you want. The thing is, you just have to stay persistent, have a can-do attitude, make every day count, and actually live by these creed laws. And eventually, the person or someone even better than them will magnetically just enter your life eventually. You just have to stay the faith, stay the course, and continue improving your everyday life, and you will see the fruits of your labor. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.